Hey everyone, it's Graham Stephan, and today we're diving into the world of real estate wholesaling. Now I know what you're thinking. Real estate, that sounds complicated and expensive. But trust me on this. Wholesaling is one of the most accessible ways to get started in real estate investing, and you don't need a ton of cash up front. We're going to break it all down for you, step by step, in this comprehensive guide. Whether you're a complete beginner, or you've dabbled in real estate before, this video will give you the tools and knowledge you need to start wholesaling properties like a pro. Over the next few chapters, we'll cover everything from finding those hidden gem properties to negotiating win-win deals and understanding the paperwork involved. We'll even share some insider tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to help you succeed in this lucrative market. So, if you're ready to build wealth, achieve financial freedom, and potentially quit your 9-to-5, buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Alright, let's get down to business and talk about the essential documents you'll need for real estate wholesaling. First up, the purchase agreement. This document is crucial because it outlines the terms of the deal between you, the wholesaler, and the seller of the property. Think of it like a roadmap for your transaction. It includes details like the purchase price, closing date, and any contingencies that need to be met. You want to make sure everything is crystal clear to avoid any surprises down the road. Now, you don't need to be a legal expert to handle purchase agreements. There are plenty of templates available online, but I highly recommend having a real estate attorney review it before you present it to the seller. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Remember, this document is legally binding, so it's essential to understand everything it says before you sign on the dotted line. Now let's talk about another critical document in wholesaling: the assignment contract. This is where the magic happens. Essentially, this contract allows you to assign your rights to purchase a property to another buyer, typically a cash buyer or a real estate investor looking for a deal. Here's the beauty of it. You're not actually buying the property yourself. Instead, you're finding a great deal, putting it under contract, and then assigning that contract to your end buyer for a fee. It's like flipping a contract instead of flipping a house. The assignment contract outlines the terms of the assignment, including the assignment fee you'll receive. This fee is your profit for finding the deal and connecting the seller with the end buyer. Again, it's crucial to have a real estate attorney review your assignment contract to ensure it's legally sound and protects your interests. And remember, clear communication with both the seller and the end buyer is key throughout the process. Finding motivated buyers is crucial for any successful wholesaling business. One of the most effective ways to do this is through good old-fashioned networking. Remember, real estate is a people business, and building relationships is key. Start by attending local real estate investor meetups, conferences, and events. These gatherings are gold mines for connecting with potential buyers, including seasoned investors and cash buyers looking for their next deal. Don't be afraid to strike up conversations, exchange business cards, and let people know you're a wholesaler looking for properties. You never know who you might meet or what opportunities might arise from a simple conversation. Another great way to network is by reaching out to local real estate agents. They often come across off-market deals and investors looking for properties. Building a strong network of agents can be a steady source of leads for your wholesaling business. In today's digital age, you can't underestimate the power of online marketing for finding buyers. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and even LinkedIn can be valuable tools for connecting with potential investors. Start by creating a professional online presence. Build a website or social media profiles that showcase your wholesaling business and highlight your expertise in finding great deals. Use targeted advertising to reach specific demographics, such as real estate investors in your local area. You can also join relevant Facebook groups and online forums where investors gather to discuss deals and network with each other. Don't forget about the power of content marketing. Create valuable content such as blog posts, videos, or social media updates that educate potential buyers about wholesaling and showcase your knowledge of the local market. Alright, so you've found a promising property below market value and you've got a cash buyer lined up who's ready to move quickly. That's fantastic. You're well on your way to closing your first wholesale deal. But before you pop the champagne, there's one crucial step: negotiation. Now remember, your buyer is looking for a good deal and you want to make a profit. So how do you find that sweet spot where both sides walk away happy? The key is to approach the negotiation with a win-win mindset. Understand their needs, but also know your worth. Start by highlighting the property's potential. Maybe it's in a rapidly appreciating neighborhood, or maybe it just needs a little cosmetic work to significantly increase its value. Emphasize these points to justify your assignment fee, and don't be afraid to counteroffer. Once you've agreed on the assignment fee, it's time to make it official. This means getting everything in writing. Remember, a verbal agreement is only as good as the paper it's written on, and in real estate, you always want a clear paper trail. Your assignment contract should clearly state the terms of the agreement, including the property address, the agreed-upon assignment fee, and the closing date. Both you and the buyer should sign the contract, and it's always a good idea to have a real estate attorney review it before finalizing. Now keep in mind that you'll likely be working with a buyer's earnest money deposit. This is a deposit that the buyer puts down to show their serious intent to purchase the property. Make sure the amount and terms surrounding the earnest money deposit are clearly outlined in the assignment contract. Now that you've got a signed agreement with your buyer, it's time to move on to the final stage of the wholesaling process: closing the deal with the title company. Now you might be wondering, what exactly does a title company do? Well, the title company acts as a neutral third party that ensures a smooth and legal transfer of property ownership. They'll handle all the necessary paperwork, conduct a title search to ensure there are no liens or encumbrances on the property, and ultimately disperse funds to the appropriate parties. Choosing the right title company can make a huge difference in the closing process. You want a company that's experienced, reliable, and responsive to your needs. Ask for recommendations from other investors in your network, or check online reviews to find reputable title companies in your area. Once you've chosen a title company, you'll need to provide them with all the necessary documents, including your purchase agreement with the seller, your assignment contract with the buyer, and any other relevant paperwork. Traditionally, real estate closings have been done in person, with all parties gathered around a table to sign documents and transfer funds. However, with the rise of technology, remote closings have become increasingly common, especially for wholesale deals. In a traditional in-person closing, you, the buyer, the seller, and representatives from the title company would all meet at a designated location to finalize the transaction. You'd review and sign the closing documents, exchange funds, and receive confirmation of the property transfer. Remote closings, on the other hand, offer greater flexibility and convenience. With remote closings, you can finalize the transaction from anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. This can be a huge time saver, especially if you're dealing with out-of-state buyers or sellers. Whether you choose an in-person closing or a remote closing, the title company will guide you through the process and ensure all the necessary steps are completed correctly. So you're eager to jump into the world of real estate wholesaling and start raking in those assignment fees. That's great. But before you quit your day job, it's important to set realistic expectations about the process and the timeline involved. Wholesaling is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time, effort, and dedication to build a successful wholesaling business. You'll need to invest time in learning the ropes, building your network, and finding profitable deals. The timeline for closing a wholesale deal can vary depending on several factors, including the complexity of the deal, the responsiveness of the parties involved, and the efficiency of the title company. On average, it can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months to close a wholesale deal. It's important to be patient and persistent throughout the process. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Keep learning, keep networking, and keep refining your strategies, and you'll eventually start seeing success in the exciting world of real estate wholesaling. As with any real estate transaction, wholesaling comes with its own set of potential challenges. It's important to be aware of these challenges and have strategies in place to navigate them effectively. One common challenge is finding motivated sellers. Not all homeowners are eager to sell their properties at a discount, so you'll need to develop effective marketing and negotiation skills to find and secure deals. Another challenge is dealing with unexpected repairs or title issues. Thorough due diligence is crucial to identify any potential problems with the property before you assign the contract to your buyer. And of course, there's always the possibility of competition from other wholesalers. The key is to differentiate yourself by building strong relationships with buyers, providing excellent customer service, and consistently delivering on your promises. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth and learning. Alright, so you're diving into the world of real estate wholesaling. That's awesome. But remember, this isn't a one-size-fits-all game. Every state has its own set of rules, especially when it comes to the paperwork. We're talking purchase agreements, assignment contracts, and all that legal jazz. First up, purchase agreements. This is your bread and butter, the document that outlines the deal between you and the seller. Now, some states might have specific language or clauses that need to be included. You don't want to mess this up, trust me. For example, California has some unique disclosures for real estate transactions. You need to make sure those are all filled out correctly. And remember, I'm not a lawyer, so it's always a smart move to have a real estate attorney review your documents, especially if you're just starting out. Next up, let's talk about assignment contracts. This is where you assign your rights in the purchase agreement to your end buyer. Again, different states might have their own quirks when it comes to these contracts. Some states are totally cool with assignments, while others might have stricter regulations. For example, some states require specific language in the assignment contract, or might even need the seller's consent before you can assign the contract to your buyer. Now, you might be thinking, Graham, this is getting complicated. And you know what? You're right, it can be. That's why it's crucial to do your homework. Before you even think about wholesaling in a particular state, research their specific laws and regulations. Alright, let's get down to the nitty-gritty figuring out how much to offer for a potential wholesale property. This is where things get really interesting because you're essentially trying to predict the future of the real estate market. Okay, maybe not the future, but you need to be able to accurately assess the property's after repair value, or ARV. The ARV is the estimated value of the property after you've fixed it up. To determine this, you need to do your market research. Look at comparable properties in the area that have recently sold. These are properties similar in size, condition, and location to the one you're considering. Websites like Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com can be your best friends for this. But don't just rely on online estimates. Get out there and actually visit some properties in person, attend open houses, talk to real estate agents, get a feel for the market. The more information you have, the more accurate your ARV estimate will be, and the better your chances of making a profitable offer. Now, when it comes to making an offer, a lot of wholesalers use the 70% rule. This means they aim to purchase a property for 70% of its ARV, minus any estimated repair costs. So, let's say you find a property with an ARV of $300,000, and you estimate it needs $20,000 in repairs. Using the 70% rule, you'd multiply the ARV by 0.70, which gives you $210,000. Then, you'd subtract the repair costs of $20,000, leaving you with a maximum offer price of $190,000. Of course, this is just a starting point. You need to consider other factors like the property's condition, the seller's motivation, and the overall real estate market. In a hot market, you might need to offer closer to the asking price, while in a buyer's market, you might have more room for negotiation. Remember, the goal is to get the property under contract at a price that allows you to make a profit when you assign it to your buyer. Finding that sweet spot takes practice, research, and a little bit of intuition. That's a wrap on real estate wholesaling for beginners. We've covered a lot of ground, from finding deals and negotiating with sellers to understanding legal documents and navigating different state regulations. Remember, this is just the beginning of your wholesaling journey. There's always more to learn, and the real estate market is constantly evolving. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, make mistakes, and learn from them. The more you experience, the better you'll become at identifying lucrative deals and closing them like a pro. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more real estate tips and strategies. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm here to help you succeed in your real estate investing journey. Now get out there and start finding those hidden gems.